queer Christians, one of the first things that we hear is, well, doesn't the Bible say? And then it's usually followed up by something like, something from Leviticus, a man can't lie with a man, or something from Romans, that men gave up their natural relations for unnatural ones. And so in those moments, I have to wonder, does the Bible say anything clearly? I mean, from Hebrew and Greek, we've come a very long way into English, and there are a lot of English translations out there that are somewhat quite fun. But when I think about those verses, and when folks say, doesn't the Bible say you can't be gay and a Christian? I like to take them back to those verses. When we turn to Leviticus, and people often pull out that verse that says, a man can't lie with a man. And I could easily pull out a verse that says, children, don't disrespect your parents, otherwise you'll have to be killed. So the important thing here is, Christians don't go around killing their children, so why do we take this other verse from Leviticus so seriously? The thing for me is when we look at those verses in context, they often tell us something completely different from taking them just one verse at a time. In Leviticus, there are verses all around that talking about idol worship. And so when we see the verses around a man shall not lie with a man, we see that within the context of different idol worship, things that people do to worship other gods in public. So it's not so clear-cut, and the Bible doesn't clearly say something in Leviticus about gay people at all. The other place that people look is in Romans. And this is the part where, folks say, well, the men gave up their natural relations for unnatural ones. So how can you, explain that as a gay person? How can that be okay? And the thing for me here, again, is to look at the verse in context. In this chapter, Paul is talking about people who had turned away from God and who had gone to worship other gods. And if you study anything about ancient Roman cults, you know that when they worshipped some of these gods, they did so in group sexual acts. So Paul is talking about a group of folks who went out to worship these other gods, who did so giving up their natural inclination towards God and trading it for these, different worship activities, which often involved group sex about other gods. So when Christians say, the Bible says you can't be gay and a Christian, we have to turn to them and say, does the Bible really say that? And where do you get that conclusion from? I think the Bible says some pretty amazing and powerful things. And I think when we look at the context, we discover a whole new idea of what the Bible really says.